Responsibility comes from lessons learned from family, community, and education. Teens and young adults who understand gambling and its risks are less likely to develop a gambling problem. The Métis youth in this program share their personal experiences, views, and impacts that gambling has had on their lives. Gambling has long been a part of Aboriginal culture and played a role in community gatherings, celebrations, and as skill-teaching exercises, often through games of chance and healthy competition. The traditional use of gambling has changed as modern culture now finds our communities participating with scratch tickets, pull tabs, casino games, and horse racing. Today, bingo and slot machines contribute the most to problem gambling among non-internet gamblers. The key to low-risk gambling is to realize that it's only a game. Low-risk gamblers understand that although they may get lucky from time to time, over the long run they will lose money gambling. They know that this is the way gambling games are designed to work.
Yeah, I think I do have a problem with gambling. Probably started when I was 19. I actually get to go into the casino. I see all the slot machines. I've watched other people win big. I don't know, I just always wanted to be that person that walked out of the casino with, the $1,000 or, hey, I only brought $20 in and look what I'm leaving with, and it never ends up that way.
The fear is what kind of holds me back in thinking that every time I go to the casino I will be successful in winning, maybe another few $100s or whatever the case may be. So
the person in my life that has an issue with gambling, probably the biggest one would have to be my grandma. And it's really weird when someone like your grandma, who's the centerpiece of your family, has a problem like that. We miss out on a lot of family dinners because my grandma's off gambling and stuff, and she has rooms comped, so she's gone like every weekend, and all her meals are paid for and everything. She is a heavy slot player machine. She doesn't really dabble in anything else gambling but slot machines. And when I say slot machines, it's not like the little you put in a penny, pull it, and that's it. She puts in like $5 to $20 at a time and goes from there.
My brother is affected by gambling. About 15 months ago, he actually got involved in gaming. My mom bought him the Xbox 360. It was a month after my dad had passed away, and then he got so warped in the fantasy world of gaming and Halo that he lost himself.
The exciting element of risk, easy access, and acceptance that gambling is a way to have fun, flashy advertising campaigns, and popular movies all contribute to the perception that gambling is a quick way to a good life. Problem gamblers will deny, make up stories, borrow money, and lie to hide their gambling addiction from others. The social, educational, and emotional consequences are serious. Problem gambling in our youth is linked with poor academic and vocational performance, mental health issues, drug and alcohol addictions, isolation, and other high-risk behaviors.
My longest winning streak probably lasted a week. And at the end of that week, it came to a big halt because I was broke. And everything I won, I put right back into the casino. It was probably only a few $100s, but it was basically the first couple months of my gambling when I first started, and I thought nothing of it to go, hey, I'm gonna win again. I won again. So I go the next night, I kept winning, kept putting money aside, thought, hey, I can do this every night. It's extra money. And then realized it doesn't last. Longest time I've actually stayed in a casino was probably about 16 hours. It was in Niagara. There was a big card tournament. There's no clocks to be found. You lose track of time. I don't know, I went in there. It was Friday, came out Saturday night. It was, lots of people. You don't realize it because the casinos are always full. The doors are never closed. There's never two people there. It's always somebody there. So you never actually have a concept of time. You just keep playing.
My father was actually never really in touch with my brother. They didn't talk. My father actually went to prison, so he had no way of contacting us other than letters. Grayson refused to reply to any of those letters. And then once my father passed away, he felt that he should have replied, and maybe maybe it would have helped the cause of his death, and maybe he would still be here. So Grayson took on a lot of that guilt and responsibility of my father's death.
People in my family have lost so much money that they have to take out loans, or they're in debt, or they have to sell their house and move into tiny apartments. Whereas, like, my grandma has a huge house, and she's had to move from there to like smaller apartments with younger kids who are partying all the time. And I'm sure since she's older, she doesn't want to be around all that, but she doesn't have a choice because she's gambling all the time and spending all her money. So she put herself in the predicament, but it's an addiction, so she can't really help.
I have one at the casino, actually, about $100. Again, just going in with my typical $40, $60 range. So that was very exciting. And with that money, I went out for supper with some friends a few weekends after that. So it was sort of a free supper on the house, I guess, if you will. But
before the gaming and the online gambling, he actually had lots of friends. He'd go out and bike ride, skateboard, and then he continuously ditched them. He would ditch them for the Xbox and turn to them, and then they realized that something materialistic was more beneficial than their friendship, so then they actually ditched him and quit being his friend.
The risk of becoming an online problem gambler is 30% higher than non-internet gamblers. Major predictors of internet gambling in Canada include being a male, single, a student, and of Aboriginal ancestry. Online gambling addiction to skills games, poker, and lotteries can be as hard to battle as an addiction to narcotics or alcohol.